Right. So today we're going to do a deep dive on something something pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Mo Salah's chances at the Ballon d'Or.
All right.
You guys have been following along, what an incredible season he's having.
Yeah.
And we're really going to kind of unpack, he really reached that like Messi Ronaldo level of dominance?
Right.
And for this one, we've got some great analysis from the Sky Sports team.
Love it.
Micah Richards, Jamie Carragher,
Yep.
even Daniel Sturridge, who played with Salah at Liverpool.
Wow. That's a great perspective to have.
Yeah.
Someone who's been on the pitch with him.
Exactly.
Seen him train, been in the locker room with him.
Yeah, and I think what's so interesting about this is we're not just talking about another great season, We're
Right.
talking about potentially rewriting the record books
Yeah.
for the Premier League's greatest individual season ever.
And it's interesting you say that because even Jamie Carragher, who's obviously a legend at Liverpool,
Yeah.
he said that this could be the best Premier League season we've ever seen from anyone.
And let's start with the numbers, right?
Okay, let's do it.
41 combined goals and assists in the Premier League already.
It's ridiculous.
And we're not even done with the season.
Like we're at what, 10, 11 games left?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And what I find so fascinating is like when you look at that graphic we pulled,
Yes.
showing minutes per goal or assist compared to guys like Henry Shearer, Suarez,
Right.
Holland, even like
Yeah.
Salah's numbers are just off the charts.
They are off the charts.
So to me, I don't think Carragher is exaggerating at all.
I think he might be onto something. And you know what else I think is so interesting?
What's that?
Is it's almost like we're getting to a point where he's defying positions.
Yeah, totally. I was going to say that.
Like the Sky Sports panel was debating, is he even a winger anymore? Or is he more like this wide striker?
I think he's almost creating a new position.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like leading the league in shots,
Yeah.
his primary objective is to score. So is he transcending those classic labels, you know?
Totally. And I think it begs the question, like, could he change how wingers are viewed and developed?
Right. Like, are we going to start seeing academies?
Yeah.
Like, specifically training these, like, hybrid winger striker type players?
Yeah.
That's fascinating to think about.
It really is. And I think it's something that, the pundits were also talking about. Even the best teams need that one player to elevate them to that legendary status.
Oh, 100%.
You think about Cantona at uniting Ronaldo Rooney.
Yep.
Do you see Salah reaching that level of impact for Liverpool?
I mean, you almost have to say yes at this point.
Right.
Like, it's not just the stats, it's the way he inspires his teammates, the fear he puts into the opposition.
Totally.
I think it's safe to say Salah has become like the undisputed talisman for Liverpool.
And that leads to that inevitable comparison. Like, is Mo Salah now second only to Thierry Henry in Premier League greatness?
Ooh, spicy take.
It is a spicy take,
Yeah.
especially with Thierry Henry being on Sky Sports.
Right. I mean, he is a colleague.
But it's a debate worth having.
Yeah.
I mean, if he stays at Liverpool and continues on this trajectory, I think that rivalry for Premier League Go A,
Totally.
it only intensifies.
Especially if he signs a new contract.
Especially if he signs a new contract. Now, one guy who has a really interesting perspective is Daniel Sturridge,
Oh, yeah.
because he actually played alongside Mo Salah.
Right.
And I thought it was fascinating that years ago, Sturridge predicted Salah was too good for Fiorentina.
Yeah.
And now he's saying Salah doesn't even need to have a great game to score.
Yeah.
He just knows how to find the back of the net.
He's got that instinct.
And I love that insight coming from somebody who's seen it firsthand.
Definitely firsthand experience is invaluable.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Mhm.
The Sky Sports pundits are flat out saying Salah's having a Messi Ronaldo season.
It's hard to argue with that.
It is hard to argue with that.
And that's why I think this deep dive is so important, because if a season like this doesn't warrant serious Ballon d'Or consideration,
Right.
and what does?
Yeah, what are we even using as criteria?
Exactly. It makes you wonder why he hasn't even been in the top 5 for voting in past years.
Well, let's talk about how his game has evolved.
Okay.
There's a theory that Klopp has made some tactical adjustments to maximize Salah's output.
Interesting.
Fewer defensive responsibilities.
So more energy focused on attacking.
Exactly.
It's a smart strategy if you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Similar to how Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar have been deployed at times in their careers.
Yeah.
By reducing Salah's workload in certain areas,
Right.
Klopp is unleashing his full attacking potential.
Yeah, and you know what? It makes you wonder if this is like a formula that can extend his prime.
Oh, that's a great point.
Like, he is 32 now,
Right, turning 33 next year.
turning 33 next year. But what if this evolution towards efficiency, rather than pure athleticism.
I see what you're saying.
Means that he can stay at this level for several more years.
So, like, rather than relying on just pure speed and power, which inevitably declines with age, he's become more of a clinical finisher, a master of positioning.
Exactly.
I feel like he's almost like a fine wine, you know?
Yeah.
Getting better with age.
And that's where Klopp's tactical genius could really be a game changer.
Right.
If he can create a system that keeps Salah fresh and focused on what he does best,
Yep.
age might not be that limiting factor that we traditionally think it is.
It'll make sense now.
Right.
So we've got the incredible stats.
Yes.
The impact on Liverpool.
Yeah.
The tactical evolution.
Uh-huh.
But what will it really take for Salah to win the Ballon d'Or?
That is the question.
That is the million-dollar question.
That is the question that we are going to try to answer.
All right, I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. I mean, historically, there's always been this kind of bias toward La Liga players.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially those with Champions League success.
Right.
So does Salah need to lead Liverpool to a Champions League title?
Ooh.
To really solidify his case?
I think it would definitely make a strong statement. Imagine like a record-breaking Premier League season capped off with a Champions League trophy.
Yeah.
That's hard to ignore.
It would be hard to ignore.
I know.
What about individual awards?
Okay.
Like, does he need to win the Premier League Golden Boot or be named Player of the Year?
I think those accolades would definitely add weight to his candidacy.
Yeah.
But they might not be like essential.
Okay.
Because remember, the Ballon d'Or, it's a subjective award.
Right.
It's about the narrative as much as it is the numbers.
So it's not just what he achieves,
Right.
but how it's perceived globally.
Exactly.
Does Salah have that same level of recognition as, like, Messi, Ronaldo?
Right.
Those perennial contenders.
Yeah, that's the key question. Like,
Okay.
he's earned the respect of his peers and the pundits, obviously.
Right.
But does that translate to, like, global stardom?
Yeah.
This is where media coverage
Right.
and exposure on those biggest stages
Yeah.
really comes into play.
It's complex.
Is
It's like this complex equation
yeah.
of individual brilliance, team success, global recognition.
You got it.
And then, of course, there's the age factor.
Yeah.
It's something that we can't really avoid.
Right. And unfortunately, it's something that often works against players in their 30s when it comes to these individual awards.
But as we were talking about, like, if his game is evolving to this place of efficiency over raw athleticism,
I see where you're going with this.
could he actually, like, defy those typical expectations?
Well, I mean, we've seen players like Messi and Ronaldo do it.
Right.
And I think if Klopp can find that sweet spot,
Yeah.
maximizing Salah's strengths while managing his workload,
Yeah.
age may become less relevant.
So where does this leave us with Salah's Ballon d'Or chances?
I think it's going to be a fascinating race to watch.
Yeah.
If he keeps performing at this level,
Yeah.
helps Liverpool win more silverware,
Uh-huh.
and continues to captivate audiences worldwide,
Yeah.
I think he'll be a serious contender.
I think so, too. And, something else I think we have to consider
What's up?
is the power of narrative.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, if the football world really embraces
Yeah.
this story of his incredible journey,
Right.
his unwavering dedication,
Definitely.
that could tip the scales.
Absolutely. Stories have a way of capturing hearts and minds.
Totally.
And Salah's story, the rise from relative obscurity to the brink of global superstardom.
Yeah.
That's something that resonates deeply with people.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to go back to something Daniel Sturridge said
Okay.
that really struck me.
Yeah.
He talked about Salah's, insatiable desire to be the best.
Yeah, that relentless drive.
Yeah.
That refusal to be satisfied with anything less than greatness.
And now he's on the cusp of achieving something truly special.
He is.
It's almost like a culmination of years of hard work and dedication.
Yeah, it really is inspiring, isn't it?
It is.
Like, it shows that even when you're considered one of the best in the world,
Right.
the hunger to improve, to push the boundaries, should never fade.
It really makes you think about, your own aspirations.
Yeah.
Are we pushing ourselves hard enough?
It's a good question to ask yourself.
Are we truly dedicated to reaching our full potential?
That's powerful.
I mean, it's a powerful reminder that, complacency is the enemy of progress.
Oh, yeah.
Salah's journey is really like a testament to the idea that even when you're considered one of the best in the world,
Yeah,
there's always room for growth
absolutely.
and refinement.
Always be learning.
Exactly. So after diving deep, into Salah's incredible season, his evolution as a player and all these factors,
Yeah.
that could influence his Ballon d'Or chances.
Right?
What's your verdict?
That's a tough one.
Do you think Mo Salah deserves to win the Ballon d'Or this year?
I mean, it's a really tough question.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's no easy answer.
Right.
I think it depends on how the rest of the season unfolds.
Yeah.
How the voters weigh those different criteria we talked about.
All right.
And you know how Salah's narrative resonates on that global scale?
It's almost like we need to create our own scorecard.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what are the...
Weighing the incredible stats against, the historical bias and then, that power of his story.
I think that's a great takeaway for our listeners.
Yeah.
Don't just accept those headlines or popular opinions.
Right.
Like, really dig deeper.
Yeah.
Analyze the evidence.
Yeah.
Form your own conclusions. Like,
Yes.
what aspects of a player's performance do you value most?
Yeah.
What weight do you give to individual accolades versus team success?
Right. It's about becoming like an informed observer,
Yeah.
not just a passive fan.
I love that.
And who knows, maybe this deep dive will inspire you to even explore further.
Totally.
Look back at historical Ballon d'Or voting trends, compare Salah's stats to past winners.
There's a whole world of football knowledge out there.
Exactly.
Just waiting to be discovered.
And the beauty of football is that it's subjective.
100%.
There's no single right answer.
Right.
It's the debate, the discussion, the passion. That's all part of the fun.
That's what makes it so great.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly,
Yeah.
keep enjoying the beautiful game.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time.